Hi, it's Vicent, Creative Director of Cataclismo at Digital Sun.
This is Israel, Communications Manager at Digital Sun. We are super thrilled to be here right after the III showcase where we have just shown the latest trailer for our Fortress Builder RTS.
So we are now super happy to share with you a look in more depth into the game and to show you some content that we have never shown before.
Yeah, so what are we playing today?
So yeah, I would like to show you all one of the levels of the campaign. So while is recording, this is the war table, and this is kind of the nexus from where the player decides which level is going to be played next. After each level, the protagonist Lady Iris comes here and talks with Hermes. He is his pale raven that, by the way, can be pet here.
Oh, it's okay. You can pet the Raven.
Yeah. As soon as we put the model into the game, it was like super evident that we really needed to be able to
Yeah.
to pet him. And yeah, from here you can decide on which level do you want to play. Let's try this one, which is Mishfield Firepower. And as I said, it's the first time we are showing this level in public, and it has some different units and different stuff around. So yeah, I think it's going to be good.
Since we are talking about the campaign and while it's loading, what's the role of the campaign mode in Cataclismo?
Hmm. So in one side we have this kind of way to do a prolonged tutorial to explain all the mechanics during the game and to be sure that the onboarding, that's the word, sorry, the onboarding is smooth, so you learn about how to play and the better strategies and everything. And on the other hand, we have this situation where we can do this narrative arc to explain more about the game, about the world, about the characters, and to have more, more freedom to explain things in regarding the world. Also, the campaign has, I think it's like 17 levels or so. Some of them are city building levels, like this one. This is like the core experience of the game, where you have to build your castle and your settlement around this main building, which is called the Citadel. But we also have other kind of levels, like the adventure levels in Warcraft 3, where you moved this small group of units and your hero through the landscape, and you had to fight small groups of units and kind of improvise defenses around. We have that. And yeah, it's like the best scenario to have variety and also to learn how to play.
Yeah, it seems way more than just a simple tutorial.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's packed with content, honestly, and a nice way to start with the game. Probably the best way to learn the game's mechanics.
I think so. Well, talking about this level in particular, as you have seen, it starts with a camera pan. That's something that we usually do on all the levels. If this was me playing like in home, the first thing I would like to do is to secure my exits, because this is the citadel and I really want this to be defended. So I have here some units. By the way, I just paused the time when we started the level because I don't want night to come and to be destroyed. But yeah, so like in early RTS, you can move your units around. What we can do is to select the bases because it's quite meaningful the space they occupy. And yeah, let's clean this a little. I would say this is more or less secured. Now let's go here. You can also move the units dragging. So we have a lot of these kind of shortcuts for quality of life to be sure that it's nice to put things around and to move them. And we play a lot with the physicality and with the verticality. If you've seen, units here needed to use these stairs to climb up this structure, and this is not like a pre-made structure. This is all made with tiny pieces, which is the core of the game, and that connects a lot with the verticality, which is I will say the most differentiating thing that we have in our game. Units need different heights, pieces can be piled up, buildings can be piled up, and yeah, we'll see more about that.
Yeah, I agree that verticality and especially the brick by brick factor of our game, which is the the main trait of Cataclismo, it's a big deal. Why did you go with that approach?
So we really wanted to have this system where you could build with a lot of creativity your defenses, because we thought that it was going to be more thoughtful than just having pre-made stuff. We also have the economy, like the regular economy buildings, houses, military barracks, and also more specific stuff to our economy and our city management. But it's going to be always about piling things and generating investing time on creating your own way to defend your castle. So it made a lot of sense for us to have verticality as a core dynamic in the game, since you can build things in vertical.
Yeah.
But also for the scenarios and for everything, we have a lot of verticality involved, way more than other titles of the genre, I would say.
Yeah, you were talking about how this verticality impacts the game.
Yeah.
In terms of units, can you explain a bit more? How does it work?
Yeah. So we have, I think it's 7 types of units plus the hero. Each one of the units has special skills and like things that you can improve during the campaign and unlock, so they are more useful in battle. But one thing that they also have is that they prefer to be at different heights. So for these bowmen, for instance, they want to be at high ground. That means 5 meters or more above the target. You can see that in the green highlighted area. Other units like this guy, the lover, want to be in low ground. So now here it's not super effective, as you can see. Maybe if we position him lower, like this is not a very good idea because he's going to be exposed to the attacks, but here you see that he has more green area, which means that it's closer to the target, which is his preferred area.
I see that's a lot of toying around with the different pieces, the different heights, the different
Yeah.
units. Very manual process where you have
Yes.
to decide on each individual unit, each individual brick.
Exactly. In fact, if you don't mind, I think I'm going to build here something meanwhile,
Yeah.
and I can explain to you about something that for us was quite important during the development, which is building with purpose. We find out at some point that the most beautiful castles were not necessarily the most effective ones, and we really wanted them to be, because real castles are beautiful but are also super effective. That's why they look the way they do. So yeah, we started thinking about how we could do that kind of thing, of building with purpose, not only because it's beautiful, but also because it's going to be super useful for your defenses. And we came up with a lot of different mechanics. Well, I do need now stone, because if not, I won't be able to continue building. But yeah, so verticality or high low ground or high specialization on different units is one of those mechanics. We also have this thing called tactical pieces. There are quite some of them, and they provide boosts to the near units. I think we could see them after this. And yeah, we also have stone toughness, which means that higher stone it's stronger stone. For instance, this here is just at low high, so it means that the toughness is also low. It has just 6 of resistance, but this one on the other side is high and it has 150, so it's clearly more resistant, and that's why it's because it's part of a bigger structure. If I destroy these pieces in here, you can see that it's changing colors.
Yeah.
And that's making it to be medium. If I continue destroying it, it's going to be low. So you really want to have cool looking castles, but that are high enough and strong enough to resist the attacks of the horrors by night.
Yeah, to me this shows that this isn't your typical RTS where you have those pre-made structures.
Yeah,
where you don't
exactly.
have to put any thought to it,
Exactly.
or almost any thought to it. This isn't also your typical cozy game builder where it's not only about building beautiful structures. It's kind of a mix of both, and
Yeah.
it really adds to the experience a nice layer of extra strategy.
I think so. I think that for the players that are looking for the strategical challenge. They will find it here, but we are also very we also have in mind that some people will want to play just to have fun building cool castles, and that's also great. And yeah, that's why we also have several different difficulty levels. So we have 5 of them. The first one is just the story mode, so you can just go through the campaign and or through the skirmishes or whatever, and be more on the I want to build cool castles side of things and learn about the story of the game and the world and everything. But we also have in the other side the nightmare mode, where each unit can be killed in one shot only, and it's harder in the balance. So yeah, I'm going now to put here some stone quarry, because otherwise I will run out of stone again. And probably some sawmills here as well.
Yep, this shows that this game isn't only about building, battling, and the regular stuff, no?
Yep.
This is also about resource gathering and city management. There's a lot of things going on here.
Yeah, you have to be sure that you are gathering resources from the adequate spots in the map, and it's important to decide from where to gather them, because it's going to matter. So the far the resource site is, the more time these guys are going to take to carry the resource into the citadel. So you really want to be sure that you're exploiting all the resource sources from near the citadel. And it's almost done right now, so I should probably be a bit concerned about it. But yeah, I think we are going to do good, because we are starting to gather minerals right now. We have a cannon here, which is going to be super key to defend us during the night. Let me position him. So the thing is that, as you see, units have this base when you decide where they have to be deployed. And the cool thing is that some units, like artillery units and big units, require more space. So that's, again, something else that adds to the building with purpose stuff. This is a cannon, so she wants to be at 4 meters or low. Probably this is a good spot. We have already some windows in here, so she will be able to shoot from behind, but she's 4, so she's not going to fit in here. I'm going to recycle this window, and now she is going to fit.
So there's a lot of tweaking in the middle of the game. You are not building something and that's it. You are adjusting it to improve as the game goes on.
Yeah, that goes again with the purpose and also with the creativity. Different challenges will force you to decide on different things. So yeah. Oh look, here we have stone savage in the scenario. I'm going to gather it so we can continue building.
It's also the difference between a regular tower defense game, where you just have to defend the tower, and a real-time strategy game where you have to make decisions in real time to defend that tower. That's where Cataclismo is supposed to be. And I'm seeing that there's also a certain amount of exploration. You are moving through the map and seeing, seeking for resources or for hidden enemies.
Yes. Also, look, we are like fully filled with stone. I think it's time to start building more shacks, so we have more bandwidth to create more soldiers. And also, before night comes, I saw here that the game is already telling me that it's ready to unlock the next prosperity level. This is a dynamic that we added, so as you continue playing, you can invest resources on making your general economy progress, and that's going to unlock for me some things like these pieces that have the 2 on them. They are going to be unlocked, but also more units like the captors here in the military barracks.
So the more you build, the more you get.
Sort of, yeah. In fact, for prosperity, it's not like the usual, the usual economy gate that you just have to gather resources and then put them into something that is going to make you progress. We need to build in order to prosper from one level to the next one. You need to have built some key buildings, and also you also need to build pieces, stone pieces, wooden pieces, and a lot of stuff. and that's required to be able to progress.
And what's the benefit from getting more prosperity? What kind of things do you unlock?
You unlock pieces, as I said. These pieces, these windows,
Yeah.
they were blocked just a moment ago, but now we are prosperity 2 and they are unlocked.
Okay.
So you can build them. Or this guy, he was also blocked and now it's ready. So I may be even on time to have him for night.
Yeah.
So yeah, also there's a problem going on. The oxygen is dwindling. Our resources are kind of the traditional resources, stone, wood, mineral, stuff like that, but we also have some special things. Oxygen is the most special one, I will say. If you see, all units wear this kind of scuba diving, armor, suits, stuff, medieval thingy,
Yeah.
and with the airbags and all those things, and that's why the world is stale with this weird mist. And the mist is something that if you breathe it, you will transform into a horror. So you really don't want to be exposed to that.
Yeah.
So that means that buildings have their own airlocks. All the characters move around trying to be covered, and that you have to be able to ensure that you have a proper flow of air going on your stuff. So we have the oxygen. You have some oxygen incoming, some oxygen gets consumed by units over time and buildings. You need to be able to store oxygen in order to build new things and to progress. But right now we only have one.
Quite low.
Yeah, so we better start building already some things. It's not that they are going to be like they are not going to die if you stay without oxygen, but you won't be able to recruit new units or build or anything. In fact, you see the bowman, which is like the basic unit, is 45 on oxygen, and I can't build any of them.
We
Yeah.
don't have the oxygen.
So now that I have enough,
Let's get some fresh air.
yes, and this is also nice. As I said before, you can pile up buildings. That's why that's what I just did while we were talking. And the thing is that hopefully, oh, it's too close to this one. Yeah. Well, no worries. I can use the citadel. So you are able to put things on top of other things, and oxygen gatherers in particular, they need to be high because they need to gather oxygen, and in order to gather oxygen they need to be in high spots. Here we have another one. It's going to be a tricky one to connect, but oh, night is coming. Yeah, so
Have to stop everything.
sorry.
We have to stop everything
Oh,
to
yeah.
deal with the horrors.
So it's a good moment to see the map view.
Yeah.
We can see from here the area that we have explored. The map is like this, but yeah, the horrors are going to attack from that direction.
You're joking.
And
That horror left pupae, even as it
yeah, well,
died.
in this
Don't
wave,
overlook them.
a new horror is going to be introduced, which is called the Centaur, and it's a horror that once it's this guy here. When it's defeated, it releases more enemies around her. So yeah, it's something to consider definitely. Also, it's like weapon with a battering ram,
No oxygen production.
and as soon as they are again at our sight, we will start defending. Here we go.
Okay, so let's see. how
Oh
it
yeah, we
goes.
have the captors. These guys are critical because they are going to slow the enemies, and that's going to work super good with the cannon, which is hidden in here attacking everyone.
Yeah, again, and that kind of mixing things to get the most out of every unit.
Yeah.
Different combinations.
Yes. If we didn't put the cannon here with the windows, it would have been worse for her because she will have been less effective being at higher grounds, or she wouldn't be able to see directly. So putting windows here and putting the cannon here was, the right choice in this moment.
It's not only about stacking pieces, but
Yeah.
thinking about which pieces
Exactly. It's
do
the
you
purpose
use,
again.
the tactical pieces especially.
Yeah, what made the difference during the development was the purpose.
Yeah.
To say, okay, I'm going to build now, but I'm going to build this kind of structure because I want my bowmen to be high enough so they can defend.
Maximize the
Exactly.
outcome. And
Yeah.
again, the oxygen works the same. The oxygen, the units, the robustness of your structures, they all benefit from the height.
Yeah.
So
And you remember that I wanted to put here the oxygen gatherer and it was impossible because the oxygen was too close to the other one.
yeah,
What I can do is that I can create a blueprint of these structures and then I'm going to build them here, for instance, or maybe a bit more here. Yeah, it will take some time, but now, well, if I had enough wood I would be able to put here the oxygen gather that I wanted to put here. So these blueprints is like another layer. You can build some structures, and if you like how they look, even if it's just like these, some layouts for city building, or even things more complex like this one, you can just select them and now it's a blueprint and you can rebuild it again wherever you want, and that's quite useful.
yeah, because even if we love the brick by brick aspect of this game, it really makes things faster to have that tool.
Yeah, and we wanted the player to be able to invest time on making a structure to look super cool, and it felt unfair that that structure was left behind him
Yeah.
on the previous level. So yeah, it made a lot of sense for us to have the blueprints, and it's not reducing the time that you, or reducing the times that you build, because most of the times it happens something like this.
Yeah.
I've put here the blueprint, it's going to work, but it needs more support to be built, right? And if I say now this, is going to say, yeah, but these pieces are going to be recycled because they can't be built like that. So I find myself a lot of times tinkering with the blueprints that I have already done to be able to, to adapt them to the new situation in the maps. And I think it's super nice. It's working super nice.
Yeah,
I was skeptical at first, I have to say.
even if it's faster, there's no mindless building in this
No,
game.
not at all.
Everything has a
Not at
purpose,
all,
as you said.
not at all.
And people is starting to share these blueprints on our Discord.
Yes, and it's super nice.
Which, by the way, you can join if you want.
Yeah.
And we'll try to implement that on the level editor and the community stuff. But right now, you can already start sharing your buildings with other people, which is super cool to forge a community.
Yeah,
And we are eager to see how this goes.
And I find it super great to go to Discord and see the creations that people has done, and it gives a lot of ideas, so it's super great. Okay, so yeah, it was just put a couple of pieces and the same, the tower is here, and even if it's a blueprint, it doesn't then looking exactly like the other one because
Yeah.
I needed to adapt it and everything. So
It's a tool, not a gift.
yes,
You have to-
exactly. That's a very good description. Yes. So I think that now we should probably prepare a little more this area because I'm not sure, but probably they will attack us through this direction. And I'm seeing here that there is more stone to be gathered. So what I'm going to do is to explore it a little.
Yeah, again, exploration.
Yes, it's requesting me to build a masonry guild, which is a building needed to progress, but it needs like a lot of resources. I think I'm not going to make it. But yeah, not before night at least. But well, we'll see. We still have time. So units in here. So the thing that I'm planning is to expand my territory. This is a mechanic, but we need oxygen, and we don't have enough oxygen production. Let's go for it first. But as I was saying, the oxygen. Oh shit! Another one's here. Well, I'm sorry, but you have to go. And you can be built here, so you can also be built here.
I like how the pause helps, and the idea of real-time strategy.
Yes.
Doesn't need to be or to put you in a hurry. You also have the time to pause things and think carefully what do you want to do.
Yes.
And I love that mechanic as a newbie to the
Mm.
RTS genre.
Yeah.
It's very useful.
Since you are building a lot of times with a lot of care, and you really want your structures to look good and to feel
We don't have the
like
oxygen.
like yours,
Yeah,
it made a lot of sense to be able to pause the game and say, okay, now with the resources I have, I'm going to spend some time building my own way.
yeah,
Also, it's not an exploit because resources depend on time. So as far as these guys are not moving, you are not getting more resources. Still, there is the economic puzzle. But yeah, having time to say, okay, I'm now almost 400 stone. Let's pause. Let's build some cool things.
yeah.
That's great.
It's a very handcrafted game. Not only in the way
Mm.
you have to build things, it's
Mhm.
obviously brick by brick, but in every aspect of the game
Mhm.
has a decision behind, a lot of thought. Mm, yeah, that's why we call it a strategy game, I guess. But
It's
it's
been
it's
six
different
years.
to.
It's been almost 6 years into the development right now. So.
The thing is, I've never seen something like that before, and yeah, I'm working here, but I honestly think that this is its own kind of game.
Mhm. Thank you very much. We'll see.
In the sense, you know me, I'm not the most eager RTS fan out there, but I'm enjoying my time playing Cataclismo because
Hmm.
it allows me to learn. It has a very nice difficulty
Yes.
curve, and I can learn not only the genre but the the game itself through the campaign or through the creative mode. Even if I don't want to face horrors,
Mhm.
there are a lot of spaces where I can mm, learn how to play this and improve as a player. And I know that there's also a lot of spaces for hardcore players to skip that part and go into business and get
Hmm.
real with the difficulty.
Mhm. Yes, for us, for the whole team, accessibility is something important, and we understand that some people will want to enjoy the game just in order to build cool castles, and that's completely fair. So we embrace that, and that's why we have the different difficulty modes, and that's why we have the campaign with all the onboarding, gradually teaching you about the basics of the genre, but also the specific mechanics in this game, and that's why I don't know, we have hints everywhere. So if you get lost, you can say, okay, what I'm supposed to do now, and I
I
would
mean,
say we invested an extra in trying to achieve that accessibility plus.
the
Yeah.
cool thing is that to me this isn't like a Souls like where only a certain type of players um, can enjoy that game,
Mhm.
and it isn't also a cozy game as I said before. Here you can go from zero to hero
Mhm.
and learn all the bases of this genre. And especially if you enjoyed Lego as a kid,
Mhm.
because
Or as an adult.
or as an adult, yeah, but
I mean, I collect Lego,
I
so.
yeah, me too. But I grew up with playing with Lego, and I love that feeling that
Yeah.
mm, I'm building a thing that you won't build.
Mhm.
This is my creation, and this is my experience with this. And
Mhm.
Cataclismo has that vibe.
Mhm. I think so. I think so.
We've talked a lot about the mechanics, and while you are building,
Yeah.
and you've said that everyone's wearing masks and the oxygen is so important. Can
Yes.
we detail a bit more how humanity got so screwed?
Yes. So basically, it's on in the name of the game. Years ago, or hundreds of years ago,
That's right.
something that they call our oxygen, by the way, is already thriving. Yeah.
Let's
So
go.
as I was saying, hundreds of years ago, humanity went through this episode thing
We don't have
that
the
they call
oxygen.
the Cataclismo. We do have this Spanish flavor on the words of the high lore around, even if it's fully voiceovered in English and everything is it's in English. It's also localized to several languages, but the voiceover is in English. But yeah, so that Cataclismo basically happened during their medieval ages and changed the world in a lot of ways. The most important one is that the mist appeared, and as I already said before, anyone who breathes mist gets transformed into a horror. So starting from there, they adapted their culture. They ran away from their capital and built a city on top of a mountain, and life changed in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So
I would
there's
say
a,
that's the event that changed the world is the Cataclismo.
so there's a lot of lore and story behind everything happening on screen.
Yeah, we in general here we love the games with world building.
Yeah.
So having a story of a character that is running around in that world is a very good way to show the world building. It's not the only one, but it's a very good one. So yeah, that's one of the reasons of the campaign, to be able to like give the opportunity to explore in the world.
Absolutely. And with that, I think we have a really nice picture of the whole game.
I think so.
I think we should go for the final night.
It's
perhaps.
almost there. I'm going to position units.
Okay.
We trigger night and we'll see what happens.
Let's see.
I'm not sure we are going to survive, but let's try.
That's what they call it, surviving.
I think so. I think so. Oh, this need a stairs. Let's see. This. Move away, please.
Now we're talking.
Thank you. Oh, the cheats.
That's really.
You never saw that.
This is truly a look behind the scenes.
Yeah. I mean, it's a development build. We of course have the cheat codes because the Q&A process needs to be able to access the different parts of the game during the development.
Yeah, and the final version is supposed to have cheat codes as well.
Yeah,
so.
we need to prepare them properly because it's not going to be all the cheat codes that we use. Some of them are quite useless for the average player. But yeah, during the Kickstarter, I think we unlocked the cheats. So the cheats as a stretch code. Okay, you go there, you go there,
I've got this.
and you.
Uh-huh.
Let's deploy them in line here.
It's me.
Okay, and the hero, it's going to be... Where do we put it? Is maybe here. Fingers crossed. Oh, you have a slot here.
Will
Yeah.
prevail.
And now some flags. So they have more damage. This is one of the tactical pieces I said you before.
Yeah, this one, the Merlons.
Yes.
There are a lot of tiny things you can do to improve your defenses.
And knight is nearly here. They will attack us through here and through here. Okay.
It is interesting that as the game goes on, the waves come from different places and
Yes.
everything is getting more difficult.
Yes.
And this is only one of the first levels, in fact.
Yeah, it's the second level that you play during the campaign after the main tutorials, which we shared on the demo that is currently on Steam. But yeah, during later on the game, things get harder and harder. Here, this wave is not going to be like hundreds of enemies. Still, it's quite hard. But later on the game, you get to face like real swarms of enemies. Oh, here they come.
We're under attack.
So terrifying, the mist.
Oh, here they are.
You're ready.
It's important to keep an eye on both of the flanks because if some flank finishes first with the enemies, I will move units around them.
Again, real-time strategy.
Yeah. There's a bit of that, but I could also just pause the game and decide on my strategy at this point.
Yeah.
For instance, I'm not sure the cannoneer has a very good angle there, but I think he will do.
And it's interesting to see how bricks actually damage the enemies
Yes.
when they fall.
Yeah, we have
Nice physics right there.
we have these physics like this.
Yeah.
So they damage the horrors when it's falling, and sometimes it's like you win just in the last breath, and it's because part of the wall can destroy the horrors. It's not happening every time, and it's not breaking the game. We know about it, but still, I think it's nice. It feels good. Okay, these guys are finished. Let's see.
Where to?
Oh, we're surviving.
It
Very
seems so.
nice.
On
Very
it.
nice.
Yeah, doing it.
Great.
Oh,
We survived.
nice. I think that should be all.
So yeah, it's been super nice to be able to show you more about the game, and hopefully you will see even more after the release and during these months.
Yeah, I hope so. And obviously, don't forget to wishlist the game on Steam, to play the demo there, and to join us to help humanity rebuild and withstand the siege on July 16th. See you, Nogar.
See you!